government does control what we view as real and not real, because all publicity and everything relays through the government. Therefore, they can twist their words and twist what happens. So it benefits them in order for us to view it in a different way. I also believe that through different branches of the government and different political parties, through their propaganda, they're able to persuade and kind of sway the votes of citizens as well as their opinions in order to benefit themselves through their ability to provide propaganda that supports themselves rather than what would be supportive towards the citizens. And through the persuasion of these citizens, they are able to implement what they believe will be beneficial for themselves.
Yes, I think the government does control what's real and what's not. Sometimes for the good and sometimes not so good. Sometimes the general public doesn't need to know all of the information of when we're going to go into another country and what we're going to do. I think sometimes we give out way too much information in that department. And other times I think that they feel it's easier to control people when they feed them what they want them to know. And a lot of times that information is not correct.
Dog, like, there's no such thing as a government. It's all about those little green alien mans like come from the sky. It's all what to do. Like, it's pretty steez, dog.
I think the government has certain capabilities of preventing what we know is just true or not true, or real or not real. And I think that our government is pretty good at giving us the truth that we need compared to other countries. But I think that our government also hides a lot of things that we don't know about, and they construe different stories and ideas about different things. And but comparatively speaking to the rest of the world, I think that the United States does a pretty good job at telling us true information, but not necessarily all of it. Even though the government has a lot of control over what we know as true or false, we have a lot of ways to investigate for ourselves what is actually true, including the internet and different resources, and being able to look through a different perspective through different countries and different websites and books. So, yeah.
The government can have a lot of influence on what citizens of today think is real and not real. And I believe it because they keep so much stuff from average citizens, and also because a lot of citizens don't look into what they think is real and not real. They just kind of believe whatever they're told. And the ones that do look into it usually have restrictions, and they won't let us know what they're going to say and what they're doing and stuff.
In all of the previous answers, people had a majority of the opinion saying that the government can control what's real and what's not real. However, our group has taken a more different stance in saying that the government can say certain things, but other people can go search for the truth themselves. There's so many other sources such as Google and other internet sources, and we have histories of newspapers on records at libraries that people can go and find the truth for themselves. And we also think that history is extremely important to our knowledge of knowing what's real and what's not real, because the government doesn't really have the power to go back and delete all the documentations of just everyday newspapers that the library has. And we also feel like no one can control an individual's mind, and they'll always have that self-interest to go and pursue to find what's real for them. Yes, there are those people who are uneducated or just listen to whatever their political parties say or whatever the government says and goes along with it. However, there will always be those individuals that are the majority and like to find things out for themselves and to have a brain of their own. So in conclusion, Big Brother can be looked at as our government today. However, we don't feel that there can be a real connection. We don't feel that they can control what's real and what's not real.